David Steiner, Thanksgiving is this Thursday, and as everybody knows, that means trash. Household waste is expected to go up 25% between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. So how does waste management handle the surge?
Yeah, every material that you have coming into your house during the holiday season, we've got something to do with it, right? So you'll put out your garbage, obviously we'll collect your garbage. But Black Friday, you're going to buy a lot of Christmas goods that are going to come in cardboard boxes. We can recycle that. We can even take that old turkey that you throw into the waste and we could turn that into energy. So every material you have, we can do something with it. The question is, how do we get the pure material that we can then take and do the best job recycling it? So we've got 20,000 people out there doing this amazing logistics dance every day, picking up everything you're going to produce between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
Can you talk about food waste specifically? Because I know that the USDA is trying to reduce it, the EPA as well.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We look at sort of the whole organic stream, and you've got two pieces. You've got food waste and you've got yard waste. Food waste has a lot more calorific content than yard waste, and so we love food waste. So, for example, right here in New York City, we have something we call the CORE system. It takes all of that food waste and creates basically a protein milkshake out of it. We then can feed that into a biogas component where what it does is it creates electricity. We can give it to the water treatment system, and that's what they're doing with the water. They're then taking the bios that come out of that and creating electricity. So we can actually take your food and create electricity.
Well, on the topic of recycling, costs are going up, and the commodities, the end result, those prices are going down. So how is this affecting waste management?
Yeah, it's a great question. Everyone thinks that, well, wait a minute, why is recycling struggling right now? And I always say, look at all the commodity markets. Ask someone in the copper market, ask someone in the oil market. All commodities have gone down over the last 5 years, and it's no different in recycling. Recycling is a commodity-driven business, primarily newsprint and cardboard. And when you think about it, newsprint, we're right here proving that newsprint is down 50% in the last 10 years. And then cardboard, is actually up, but there's not as much of it going into the recycling stream. And so we've got to come up with a solution where we can say, what are the best materials to recycle, both for the environment and for our business? Right now, that's paper and plastics. When you look beyond that toward organics and glass, it becomes uneconomical, and we have to go to our customers and say, we can do that. We can recycle anything you want us to recycle. But for cardboard and plastic, we can actually pay you to recycle. For organics and glass, we've got to charge you to recycle. And some customers want that and some don't.
Can you talk about the housing market? Because understandably, when you build a house, it creates a whole lot of waste, a whole lot of refuse.
Yep.
So to a certain extent, how much does your company's revenue depend on housing expanding in 2016?
Yeah, we really saw that in the last downturn. And when you think about it, when they build a house, we put a can out in front of the house, right? And then when they build a subdivision, so they build 500 house subdivision, we get 500 cans out in front of the house. We also get 500 brand new residential customers. And then in order to support those customers, they need to build the dry cleaner and the gas station. We get that commercial business. So we sort of get a 3-for-1 pop when housing is growing. And that's what we saw in the downturn, is that we have not bounced back to our pre-recession levels yet. As we see housing starts improve over the last couple of years, we've started to see our volumes come up. And so I think 16 for us is going to be a really good volume year. We have a really high fixed cost structure. So all the volume that we put into that fixed cost structure drops through to the bottom line at a really high incremental margin. So I think the housing market's going to be good in 16, and that'll be good for us.
Well, the stocks has done fairly well this year. It's up 6%. Just about those costs, one more thing. What about labor costs? Do you expect those to go up in 2016?
Yeah, labor costs are always going to go up for us. And part of the problem that we've got is that those residential contracts that we have usually adjust based on CPI. As you know, CPI has been under 2% for the last few years, and we're generally giving 2.5% to 3% pay raises to our employees. And so, again, we've got to go to our customers and say, look, we're not covering inflation with our CPI measure. We've got to look at a different measure. And so we're talking about looking at sort of the waste and refuse index rather than general CPI, which moves more in line with our costs.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Dave, for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for watching The Street.